Welcome back, viewers. In this lecture, we are going to be looking at the topic straight line equations, key concepts, and examples. Everything we are going to be discussing today is just centered on the linear equation that you've seen here on the screen, y equals to mx plus c. Before we continue, I want to remind you of our upcoming quiz competition, which will take place by the 7th of September. That would be next month, and the time is 11 p.m. Just come here live on YouTube, and you too can be celebrated. I just want to remind you that quiz competition has become a monthly event. So every first Saturday of every new month would be our quiz competition live here on our channel. The time is 11 p.m. I want to see you there. You too can be celebrated just like any other person, and just like these contestants and subscribers who took part and they were celebrated. I want to see you live on that day, so save that date. Let's get started. Before we continue, I want to throw more light on the equation y equals to mx plus c. So in the equation y equals to mx plus c, each symbol represents a specific component of a linear relationship. Whenever you see this relationship, it is simply a linear relationship, an equation of a straight line. So the y there represents a dependent variable. Y is a dependent variable. Its value depends on the value of x. So whatever you manipulate and you maybe substitute a value in x, that is what y will give you. So y is a dependent variable and it depends on the value of x. It represents the output or the result of the equation. X is the independent variable. Its value is chosen freely and it influences the value of y, as we have said earlier. So x is the independent variable and could be considered freely, and whatever you obtain or you substitute in x will give a result on y as well. So it represents the input and the value that you control in the equation. So anyhow you manipulate the value of x will give you an equivalent value of y. C is the intercept on the vertical axis. This is y-intercept. So that value you are seeing, C, represents the intercept. It is the value of y when x is equal to 0. This represents a point where the line crosses the y-axis. So if you're considering a graph and then the line of best fit happens to touch the y-axis, C represents that point where the line of best fit touches the vertical axis, that y-axis as well. Looking at M on that equation, M represents the slope of the line. So the slope indicates how steep the line is and shows the rate of change of y with respect to x. A positive M, the positive slope, means the line increases as x increases. A negative M, or I would say a negative slope, means that the line falls as x increases. Okay, let's get started. Let's look at the following questions. This one says, which of the following represents the general form of the straight line equation? Which of the following represents the general form of the straight line equation? We have here A, y equals to ax squared plus bx plus c. B, y equals to ax plus c. C, y equals to cx plus a. And D, y equals to 1 over x plus c. Looking at the expression, you see that the B option is the correct option. So though we had y equals to mx plus c, but then y equals to ax plus c is still correct. So the a there will take the place of the amplitude, or sorry, the slope of the graph as well. Then c, the intercept, and then y is the vertical axis. Okay, so let's look at the next question, number 2. In the equation y equals to mx plus c, what does m represent? In the equation y equals to mx plus c, what does m represent? A, the x-intercept, B, the y-intercept, C, the slope, D, constant term. So that's the correct option, C, the slope. This one says, if the slope A of a straight line is negative, the line will, if the slope of a straight line graph is negative, the line will A, rise from left to right, B, be horizontal, C, fall from left to right, D, be vertical. So you have to think before answering. In this case, the question is taking the slope as A. Okay. Alright, so the correct option is C. If the slope is negative, then the line will move from left to right. Please do not forget that it's a practical thing, but I believe you have been plotting graph and you know the nature of this graph, how it would look like. The next one says, what is the slope of the line given by the equation y equals to minus 3x plus 5? So look at this equation, y equals to minus 3x plus 5. What is the slope? Can you deduce the slope from this very equation? The options here, we have A, minus 3, B, 3, C, 5, and D, minus 5. Alright, so the correct option is A, minus 3. And of course, I believe you know where I got minus 3 from. This one says, in the equation y equals to mx plus c, what does c represent? The equation y equals to mx plus c, what does c represent? The intercept on the y-axis. Let's take this one. What kind of relationship exists between the quantity x and y in a straight line graph? What kind of relationship exists between the quantities x and y in a straight line graph? A, exponential relationship. B, linear relationship. C, quadratic relationship. D, logarithmic relationship. So the correct option is linear relationship. That equation, as I said, is a linear equation. This one says, when the values of x and y are plotted according to the equation y equals to mx plus c, what type of graph is obtained? When you plot an equation of x and y using this equation, what type of graph is obtained? A, parabolic graph. B, exponential graph. C, straight line graph. C, circular graph. The correct option is straight line graph. So as a student, I would like you to go and check what they mean by parabolic graph, exponential graph, and all of that. Okay. This one says, which of the following statements is true for a straight line graph? Which of the following statements is true for a straight line graph? A. The slope is always negative. B. The slope can be positive, negative, or 0. C. The y-intercept is always 0. D. The graph is always a curve. The correct option here is option B. Which of the following statements is true of a straight line graph? The slope can be positive, negative, or 0. Next question says, in a straight line graph, if the slope m is positive, what does it imply? In this case, the slope is taken as m, and the question is saying if the slope is a positive slope, what does it mean? A. Y decreases as x increases. B. Y increases as x increases. C. Y remains constant as x increases. And D. X remains constant as y increases. This is one of those points we had discussed before or during the initial stage of this lecture, and I believe you can still remember the correct option, which is B. Y increases as x increases. So when the slope is positive, it means that when the value of y is increasing, then x is also increasing. If the slope is negative, it means that when the value of y is decreasing, x is increasing, and all of that. Okay, look at this other one here. This one says, what does the slope of a straight line graph indicate? What does the slope of the straight line graph indicate? Before I continue, most of the times they may use the word gradient. In case you see gradient, it's not different from what we mean by slope. Okay, so what does the slope of a straight line graph indicate? A. The rate at which y changes with respect to x. B. The constant difference between x and y. C. The total sum of x and y value. D. The maximum value of y. This question is not that different from this other one I just read here, that is numbered 7. Still almost, or should I say the same thing? Okay. The next question here says, which of the following is not a characteristic of a straight line graph? Which of the following is not a characteristic of a straight line graph? A. Constant slope. B. Constant y-intercept. C. Varying slope. D. Linear relationship between x and y. The correct option is C. Varying slope. The question said, which of the following is not a characteristic of a straight line graph? So in a straight line graph, we have a constant slope, have a constant y-intercept, we have a linear relationship between x and y, but in terms of varying slope, it's not a characteristic of the straight line graph. The next question says, if a straight line graph passes through the origin, what is the value of y-intercept? If the straight line graph passes through the origin, what is the value on the y-intercept? Correct option is 0. Okay. Take this one. In the equation y equals to 4x plus 7, what does the number 7 represent? In the equation y equals to 4x plus 7, what does the number 7 represent? A. The slope of the line graph. B. The y-intercept of the line. C. The x-intercept of the line. And D. The coefficient of x. D. The coefficient of x. equation y equals to 4x plus 7, what does the number 7 represent? The intercept on the y-axis. Okay. This one says, which equation corresponds to the line with a slope of 2 and a y-intercept of -4? Which of the equation corresponds to the line with a slope of 2 and a y-intercept of -4? Look at it critically and carefully. We have here A, y equals to 2x minus 4, B, y equals to minus 4x plus 2, C, y equals to minus 2x plus 4, and D, y equals to 4x minus 2. The correct answer is A, y equals to 2x minus 4. So 2 is the slope or the gradient, and -4 is the intercept of the graph. I believe you understand what I'm trying to say. Okay, so this one is your classwork. You just do this, and then at the end of the classwork, you check your answer if it is correct, but try it first. This one says, a line passes through the origin 0, 0, and has a slope of 3. What is its equation? A, y equals to 3x plus 1. B, y equals to 3x. C, y equals to x plus 3. D, y equals to 3 plus x. The next one says, which of the following indicates that a line is horizontal? A, the slope is 0. B, the slope is positive. C, the y-intercept is 0. D, the x-intercept is positive. Take this other one. If a line has a slope of 1 and passes through a point 0, -2, what is the equation of the line? A, y equals to x plus 2. B, y equals to minus x minus 2. C, y equals to x minus 2. D, y equals to minus x plus 2. Alright, so the answer for the first one is B, y equals to minus 3. Y equals to 3x. Then the second one is A, the slope is 0. Then this last one here is C, y equals to x minus 2. Okay, so that's how far we can go for this lecture. This is our channel Gmail. If you want to message us, you can message us through this Gmail. This is how our homepage is. If you have already subscribed to this channel, please, I want you to give us a thumbs up, like the lectures that I have just delivered, and I would be happy to see that. This is our homepage. For those who are yet to subscribe, I want you to endeavor to subscribe by clicking on the subscribe button. When you do that, it will appear to be subscribed. The essence of you subscribing is for notification. So anytime I upload a new post, you should be notified. And you have already subscribed, I would say thank you very much. Do not fail to click on the like button. The like button tells me that you love what I'm doing and you understand what I'm doing. Thank you very much, and I hope to see you in our next lecture. Have a wonderful day.